Okay, what time is it? A few more seconds. Right now I see one student. Hello, Sonia.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
All right, how you
Good
doing?
afternoon.
All right, thank you.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. And then as people come in, hopefully not too long from now, they'll be it won't be too far behind. Like I said, we do have the capability to send this out. And
Okay.
that's kind of the plan.
And that's fine.
Okay.
We'll get it out there any way we can.
That's right. All right.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Can y'all see me? I can't even see myself.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I got mine in the speaker thing where whoever's speaking, they pop up in the corner.
Okay. All
Uh-huh.
right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Willie Hardy, Director of Student Support Services. We have with us today the team, SSS team, Ms. Donna Cooper, Retention Specialist. We have Ms. LaQuana Sledge, Student Development Advisor, and Ms. Laura Zolikofer, Student Development Advisor. And today we're here with Dr. Mary Stevenson, who is the liaison, the representative here for Elizabeth City State University 2+2 Partnership Program. And we would like to welcome her and to thank her for coming to share this information with us all. I think that this is one of the premier opportunities on campus. As you know, there are up to 3 programs that you can enter once you have completed your associate's degree and continue on to complete your 4-year degree right here on campus with times that are conducive for working adults because these classes are given in the evening times as I understand it. So with that being said, I'll get out the way and leave it to Dr. Stevenson to do her thing. Appreciate you coming, Dr. Stevenson.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. And I am grateful for this opportunity to share something that could be very beneficial for our students and, of course, beneficial for this community, especially for the student who wants to continue to live in the surrounding communities and not necessarily want to pack the bags and go somewhere else to relocate and that kind of thing. They've been here. This is home for them. Family members are here. Grandparents are here for some of you and that kind of thing. And so this is an opportunity to make that happen if you choose to go into one of these 3 areas that we have. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Very good. All right. This opportunity is an idea that came about, many years ago when we first started. It was just one specific area, which was elementary education. Then we added social work and criminal justice to that. And we call it the 2+2 partnership. It is a partnership between Elizabeth City State University and Halifax Community College. And that those 2 schools have come together and agreed upon what the student would be taking, what courses they'll be taking while they're a student at Halifax Community, and what courses, of course, they have to take at Elizabeth City to complete the degree. Okay. And so you have an opportunity to go into a number of careers. Obviously, the elementary education degree program would certify someone once you complete all the requirements. Now, there are some requirements there. You take the courses, but in addition to the courses, you do have some other things that's necessary for you to get full certification. But once you complete all of those requirements, you will be certified to teach in a K-6 classroom. It doesn't certify you for a specific subject area. It certifies you for a particular grade level, and K-6, kindergarten through 6th grade. This is not early childhood education. Early childhood education, the students who work in early childhood education, those students are trained to work with pre-K students before they go to kindergarten. So that's birth through kindergarten, basically what it is in the course. So the plan, the curriculum plan for that certainly would be different because you're talking about an entirely different age group.
Mhm.
Social work is also another area that students can choose from. And as a social work major, when you finish your degree, you're able to become a social worker. And keep in mind that we have social workers who work out of our Department of Social Services, but that's not the only place where social workers work. Social workers also work in the school system because the needs are so great. And of course, those folks who work in the school system, they get that 10-month employment because, you know, schools are open for 10 months out of the year and you're off for a couple months during the summer. In addition to working in the school system, a social worker may possibly be working in the hospital. Our healthcare providers need social workers to help with that. You may be working in the doctor office, you know, so you don't have to limit yourself to DSS, Department of Social Services. You may branch out and go into some other areas also, and you may very well be interested in that. But if you're working with DSS, you may be the person who determines if a client is eligible for the SNAP program, or if a client is eligible for some assistance with their heating bill during the winter time, if a client is eligible for Medicaid so they can make sure their medical needs are taken care of. You may be working with Child Protective Services when sometimes parents abuse their children and you got, something has to be done and something has to be done quickly because this is a dangerous situation and stuff. You may be that catalyst that helps to precipitate that process to get that child in a safe environment. Healthcare services, what's available, so make sure their health needs are taken care of. Child support, sometimes those persons who have been destined to pay child support, sometimes they fall down on the job and don't do what they're supposed to. So, that social worker can assist that person in making sure they get the proceeds that they're entitled to. It may be juvenile court, these young people sometimes get in trouble. They're on the wrong side of the law, as we put it, and that can be a possibility. So that's just a few of the things that you may possibly be working with. And of course, if you work in the doctor's office, then it's going to be specific to that medical area that you're in. Our rural health system that we have in this area, the rural health group, they have social workers on staff in those offices to assist with the patients in meeting their needs. If you're working in the hospital, you may have a person who comes into the hospital, they've been admitted to the hospital, they determine the care they need, they come up with a plan of what we're going to do, but that person may need some help in getting the medicine that they're supposed to have. They may need some help in transportation to get back for the different appointments, to go back and forth. Those are the kinds of things that the social worker at the hospital can help the patient with before they're discharged to go home. You don't want to come up with a plan and say, okay, the doctor said, okay, you must do X, Y, Z, and we don't map out how we're going to do X, Y, Z. We want to make sure that we put it together and have a plan so that everything is in place to do that. If that person needs a nurse to come by and check on them during, after they have been released from the hospital, sometimes, the care that you need doesn't end when you get discharged from the hospital. You may need the nurse to come by and check on you, or it may be something that family members can do at home, but you want to make sure that you check on your folks and make sure they're doing okay and doing what they're supposed to do. Criminal justice is another area that students can choose. With criminal justice, we always think about law enforcement. Of course, that's a biggie. That's one of the areas that a student can go into getting this degree, but that's not the only area. But if you do law enforcement, then we immediately think about the police, the sheriff department, private investigation, but you may want to be a security guard for some big corporation or stuff, or who knows, you may want to develop your own security company and you provide security for businesses and other establishments in the area. You may be interested in working in Department of Correction. Our system that we have for people, when they get in trouble with the law and that kind of thing, and they end up being incarcerated, then if you work in that area, criminal justice is an area you could go into to help you move on up the ranks and of course get promotions and that kind of thing. You may be interested in Homeland Security, detective work, state trooper, school resource officer, fraud investigation, any number of things. These are just a few. This is not all of them. It's not limited to what I'm just saying here in this presentation, but just to give you a clip of what students can do with that degree once they finish. So these are things you want to consider, and this is what you need to do. You need to make a decision what it is you want to do. Make up your mind on what you want to do. You don't want to change, have a major this year. Next year you change your mind, you do another major. Next year you change your mind. No, choose what it is you want to do and get some advice from your advisor and let them help you with your curriculum path on what you're supposed to do. All of these three areas, elementary education, criminal justice, and social work, each one is something you can find employment here locally. And each one of these areas, the teacher, the social worker, the person who works in criminal justice, would qualify a person to become a state employee. And as a state employee, you get certain perks in doing that. I'm going to talk about that some more. Just so you know that, I didn't, oops, sorry. Bear with me here. Ooh, okay. I didn't make this up, that we have graduates who have graduated from the program. Okay. We have graduates who have graduated from the program and already working in some of these fields that I mentioned in the previous slide. And of course, it's rewarding to the schools, it's rewarding to Halifax Community College, it's rewarding to Elizabeth City State University that these students are successfully matriculated in the program, and then of course they're working and doing a very good job, that when you go out into the community, people are just praising what they're doing because they're outstanding, they're representing themselves well, they're representing our schools very well. So we're glad of that. Some of them have gone back and gotten master's degrees as a result, but they got their start here with the 2+2 partnership. And of course, the program is done on a local level. Elizabeth City State University is an hour and 50 minutes drive from here, but you don't have to drive to the campus when you're taking the Elizabeth City classes. And we're going to talk about that. With that articulation agreement that we have between Halifax Community College and Elizabeth City State University, we have a list of prescribed courses for Halifax Community College, and then we have another list of prescribed courses for Elizabeth City State University. So when a student decide that this is what they want to do and decide which of the three areas they want to pursue, then you get the correct curriculum path for that. You follow that curriculum path along with the advice of your advisor and complete your degree at Halifax Community College. You must graduate from Halifax Community College. And then once you do that, then it's time to make that transition to Elizabeth City State University. I am available to help you with that. And of course, if I can be of assistance in any way with your Halifax side of the program, I certainly would do that. I don't turn students away. But when you get ready to fill out your application for admissions to Elizabeth City State University, then you want to be able to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and doing it the right way and that kind of thing. And I can be of assistance to you with that. And keep in mind, as you work through the program, it's always important to do your best in your classes, make good grades, do your best. But certainly I want to caution you that a D does not transfer. So if you're taking a class at Halifax that's required in this program, and you get a D in that class and you get ready to enroll at Elizabeth City State University, then if that's one of the courses that's required for you to take, then that D will not transfer. So what do we do in a case like that? You simply would need to retake the class. And how you retake the class, we work that out. Either you retake it at Halifax as a special student, or you can retake it at Elizabeth City State University. But, that's something that you want to make sure you're aware of. And of course, keep that in mind when you're doing your work. And, sometimes people get off the track a little bit, that, those grades go down the tube when that happens. But if you follow the program as designed, when you enroll at Elizabeth City State University, you should be a junior. And theoretically, in a couple years, 2 to 3 years, you should be able to complete your degree, once you get to that point. I am the site coordinator here, and my office is located in the Taylor building. My office number is room number 130. It's on that back hall back there near the Northampton Early College. What are the benefits? Okay, you get to earn a 4-year degree, and you get to graduate on the campus of Elizabeth City State University. We don't do a graduation at Halifax with these students. You know, when they get that 4-year degree, they go to Elizabeth City State University and they walk that stage with the rest of the students that are on campus. So if you are an elementary education major, then when you line up, then you're going to be in that same group of education majors and all of majors that we have in education. You'll be in that same group and you walk the stage and you get to shake the chancellor's hand and be recognized for the milestone that you have made. The beauty of going to Elizabeth City State University is that it is an NC Promise School. What does that mean? An NC Promise School means that Elizabeth City State University charge $500 per semester for tuition, for in-state students for tuition. $500 per semester for in-state students for tuition. Now, there are some other fees that you're going to have to pay in addition to that, but the tuition itself is a bargain. You cannot find tuition like that on for a university, you know, this day and time. And we know how the prices have gone up on everything that we have to use as a consumer in this society and stuff. So keep that in mind. You attend school locally. Elizabeth City offer the classes in 1 of 3 ways. Is face-to-face, virtual learning, or online. A face-to-face class, obviously, you know what that is. And what will happen if it's a face-to-face class, then you have an instructor, probably an adjunct instructor, that will be teaching that class on the campus of Halifax Community College. In the education department, sometimes I teach some of those classes, but in criminal justice and social work, let me back up. In social work, then they have a number of different ones that may be teaching the class. And sometimes they use Zoom for the class. But for criminal justice, that program, that is the only one. That program is online. Criminal justice is online at Elizabeth City State University. So when you get to the Elizabeth City side of the program, your classes will be online. That is not true for social work. That is not true for elementary education, only for criminal justice. So please don't leave here thinking that this program is online once you get to Elizabeth City State University side of the program. No, it is online for criminal justice, but that's not true for elementary education, and it's not true for social work. Our classes, if your class is held in the evening, then or virtual learning, then it's in the evening at 6 o'clock. It's designed for a person to work during the day, so you could possibly work a full-time job during the day, and then at night you come out at 6 o'clock for your class, and it runs from 6 to 8:50. And classes are held Tuesday through Thursday. We don't do Friday night classes, and we don't do Mondays. We learned from experience on that one. That's when we have our holidays and stuff, and that kind of throw you off, and we want to make sure you get your money's worth when you're taking these courses. So you want to keep that in mind, so that if you choose to take, and so the class will meet once a week. So when you come, we stay to 3 hours. In other words, the contact hours per week on an average is 3 hours. So instead of you coming on Tuesday night and come back again on Thursday night, and you make 2 trips for the same class, no, you come one night for a given class, and then you have that class in one sitting, and you don't have to make 2 trips there to matriculate for that particular class. Okay, I mentioned the cost. It's such good news. I couldn't help myself. I had to tell it before I got to this slide. But there is a reminder again about the $500 per semester, and that's a full-time student. A student can take anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. Now, if you're a full-time student, you're a single parent and you don't have all the responsibilities of some of the other students they have, you might be able to handle that load. And that means you're going to be able to move faster than the person who got a lot of other things that they're responsible for. And of course, those fees will be added to that. So please don't go out here and tell somebody, Dr. Stephson said you could go in this program and all you got to pay is $500 per semester. No, that's the tuition. That's the in-state tuition. Right. Of course, if you're out of state, it's going to cost you more for that. Just want to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I just want to chime in real quick on that, because I work with a student I'm not gonna say her name, but I worked with a student. She was on my caseload, and she she went to campus, but she was still NC Promise. And so once we kind of got into it, I'm looking at that $500, and I'm like, man, that's unbelievable. But by the time we kind of got into it, and there was other fees attached, and I communicating back and forth with some of the people there on campus, and then I learned that it is, there's a few other fees that you have to pay. One being insurance if you don't already have it,
Yes.
and then some of the housing things and that type of thing. But overall, it's a great opportunity and a privilege, because I only think that it's about 3.
Well, now it's 4.
It's 4 now.
State,
Okay.
Fayetteville State has joined the ranks.
Who?
Fayetteville State.
Yeah, I thought it was Elizabeth City, Fayetteville State. Who was the other
It's
two?
Elizabeth City State University, Western Carolina.
Yep.
UNC Pembroke.
Okay. Yeah.
Fayetteville State.
Right. Yeah, I know it was 3. Okay, so that's 4. Okay.
Yeah. So we have 4 now.
Yeah.
we
So
do.
great opportunity.
And let me say this about the fees, because we've had some conversations and dialogue. I mean, when I say I've had conversations with the people on campus about those fees and stuff.
Mhm.
Our UNC Board of Governors set those fees. That's so that, as we say, that comes from on high.
Right.
So that's
Right.
so the fees that we have, and they make that determination. They made the decision when it was time to require everybody to have insurance. And so if you already have it,
Right.
you show the proof that you
Right.
got insurance, and you can waive that fee and stuff.
Right.
And so any other fees that students have to pay, the UNC system, the UNC Board of Governors,
Mhm.
that's who set those fees. Like you all have the system office for the community college, we have a system office for the university.
Mhm.
So that's where those fees are set.
Mhm.
So it's not a Elizabeth City thing,
Right.
it's across the board.
Right.
That it is. Okay, so what do you do if you're interested in doing this? You want to, let your advisor know that this is what you want to do. And your advisor should be able to direct you in the right direction there at Halifax. But if not, you're welcome to come to my door, and I can, help you with that. The beauty of this information is that curriculum path that students are going to follow. That information is on the website, the HCC website. So even if you don't get to meet with your advisor and you want to get some idea of what it's going to take, how many courses I got to take in order to do this degree, then that information is on the website. If you don't have any idea where it is and that kind of stuff, you need some assistance, need some direction on how you can find it, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. And that gives you something to start with. I guess you all are aware by now, and maybe you're not, if you're not doing human services, you may not be aware. The young lady who used to be the advisor for students with human services is not with HCC now, but, excuse me, another person has been assigned that task. So if you're doing the human services degree program, human service technology degree program, then Mr. Obi is the person that you want to reach out to for that.
Okay.
If you're doing criminal justice, Mr. Redding is the person you want to reach out to for that. And if you're doing elementary education, Mr. Tinkerpaw is the person that you reach out to at Halifax for that, for the Halifax side of it. But once you get to the threshold of beginning to enroll at Elizabeth City, then right now I'm the person that's in place for that. I am semi-retired, so I'm not in the office every day, and even on Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm not necessarily in the office, but sometimes I have to go other places. Because in addition to doing what I do in the office, I have to do some things out in the field also. But be more than happy to help you with that. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. And of course, if you come and you need some direction on who to talk to at HCC about what you're planning to do, then I can certainly help you with that information, and we can do that and stuff. When you do the application for Elizabeth City, then it's done online, and just like ACC's, everything is we do online now. If you don't know technology skills now, you're really in trouble. But there's someone there to assist you with all of that, so you can do that and stuff. We do an orientation for our students when they make that transition from HCC to Elizabeth City State University. We do an orientation for them, because that's a change. When you move to the university campus, when you start taking classes, I say move to maybe I shouldn't say move to the campus. When you are moving from taking courses at HCC and moving to taking classes at Elizabeth City State University, that is different. That is a transition. We have an orientation to outline for you the things that you need to be mindful of and how you go about doing those things so you can be successful. Again, I can be of help with that. So you can reach out to me for that. When we set up the orientation, it's usually done in the summer because it's some basic information you need to know so you have some turnaround time to get ready so you'll be ready for classes when classes begin. That is usually done virtually, so you're able to click on the link and log in, and you get very valuable information about how to make that transition from Halifax to Elizabeth City State University. We don't leave you out there alone. We're there to help you and assist you. When you apply to Elizabeth City State University, they will send you an email to let you know that they have received your application. There is an application fee unless you are smart and you submit that application during the time that the application fee is waived, because there is a slot of time in there, but it varies from one time to another, so you have to be on the lookout for that. But you set up the Viking portal, and once you set up the Viking portal, then Elizabeth City will communicate to you through that Viking portal with the email address you gave them, telling you, okay, we received your application, but we don't have this, we don't have that, and then you'll know exactly what you need to add to that to get everything in. They can't make a final decision about your acceptance until they get all of the documents in place. You do a transcript when you do the application, but then when you complete your degree, if you're doing the application, but please don't wait on that application. Go ahead and do the application because you want to do it ahead of time. So if you run into any obstacles, you got plenty of time to work through the kinks so that you're able to get things in place at a timely manner. So when you finish your degree at Halifax, you graduate from Halifax, the registrar office has a chance to update everything in the system. Then you're able to get that final transcript to send to Elizabeth City State University. So you actually need to do two. Some students want to wait and say, well, why don't I just wait and do one? Because when you wait, you put yourself behind the 8 ball and you don't have much turnaround time to get everything done and be ready for classes. And sometimes our social work students take classes during the summer. There's a couple classes that's usually taught during the summer that sometimes students may need for whatever reason. And so you need to go ahead and get that taken care of. Matter of fact, this is a semester. If you're finishing up at Halifax Community College and you've already done this program, or you already done something else and you want to consider this program, then we got to take a look at what you got and look at what you're supposed to have, and and just check it off and see what the difference is and see if there's something we can work with and see what we need to do. Sometimes we have to make some humanistic kinds of decisions and decide which is the best for the student to do, and we do that.
Also, if I can add real quick, for the application fee, if they come through student support services, we also provide fee waivers for that.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for that. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Email is our means of communication, just like Halifax communicate with email, so does Elizabeth City State University. Text messages won't get it. Email, so check, once you establish that email, you want to check that email on a regular basis because you'll get very important information, especially that first semester. When you're just getting enrolled there for the first time and stuff, you get information that tells you exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and that kind of thing. So you want to do that. But you do want to sign up for the text alert thing for in the event that there's some notification going out where students need to be notified about something that may be happening on campus, just like you do at Halifax. You say, well, why do I need to do that? I'm here, so why do I need to do that? Because you may have a reason to go to campus for something, and you may be on campus when something happens. If you're on that list with that text alert thing, then you get that alert so you'll know how to respond and do what you need to do so you can be safe. Schedule your time, give yourself plenty of time to do, because you may have unfortunate things, mishaps happen, glitches happen, so give yourself plenty of time. And of course, always avoid procrastination, because if you wait to the last minute and something happens, then you may very well find yourself in a bad situation. So you want to make sure that you don't wait to the last minute, so that you're on target, on time, that kind of thing. we have a group of students that's taking classes on Tuesday night, and that same group take classes on Thursday night. And that they've already started, they already been doing the Elizabeth City courses, and they have 1 more year to go, and they'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
They will be done. And they, and they tell me that the time went by so quickly. I said, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they'll be ready to go into these various fields, and do that. So to kind of summarize what I have said, we have a partnership between Halifax Community College and Elizabeth City State University. Mm-hmm. You want to follow that curriculum guide, please don't go off on your own without guidance from your advisor, because sometimes when students go off on their own without that guidance, sometimes they don't take classes that's required, and sometimes they take something they don't need. And we're not trying to waste your time nor your money. So we want you to take what you need, but for goodness sake, we don't want you to waste your time taking something that you don't need. Right. And so that's why it's important to follow that curriculum guide. And then you earn that associate degree at Halifax, and then you enroll at Elizabeth City. A very reasonable cost, $500 per semester. When we first started that, I just couldn't believe it. It just sounded too good to be true, but it is true. And of course, the classes are held in the evening so that you can work during the day, because sometimes we have to work a full-time job in order to meet our financial obligations that we have. And with the textbooks, we use the rental system. I believe Halifax is using the rental system also. So does Elizabeth City. And our bookstore is online, just as Halifax bookstore is online. People are getting away from the brick and mortar businesses, and they do stuff online. It's faster. You get your books faster. And we've gone to ebooks also. Mm-hmm. So students, when they sign up for their books and things, they get the ebook, which means that as soon as you sign up, they send you the link. You got what you need. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped to you and that kind of stuff the way we used to do. So that's so much better and so much faster. And you have that book on the first night of class, the first day of class. So that's a good thing. And of course, Dr. Mary Stevenson, is the coordinator for the program. I have an address there at Halifax, M. Stevenson 101 at halifaxcc.edu. Or if you want to use my Elizabeth City address, MU Stevenson at ECSU.edu. My office phone number is 252-536-6378. If you call and I'm not there, leave a message. Please leave a message. Please don't call and just hang up when I don't answer. If I don't answer the phone, please leave me a message. When you leave me a message, then I will call you back. And I don't wait until, if it's on a Wednesday when you call, and I don't go to the office until the following Monday, I don't necessarily wait till the following Monday to call you. I will call you as quickly as I can, because if you have something that I can help you with, then I'll be more than happy to help you with that. The phone system that we have is designed so that when I get calls in the office, then that information is forwarded to me here in my email. And so I'm able to know on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day that somebody may call, I'm able to know that person has called. And of course, if you leave me a message, then I can be prepared to answer your questions when I call you back. If you call and just say, well, Dr. Stevenson, please give me a call, then I have no idea what your question is and what your concerns are, or what you're inquiring about. If you give me some information about that, then when I call you back, I can have that information and we can go ahead and answer those questions for you and reduce our time and energy of being on the phone and that kind of thing. But yes, please leave a message. When you leave a message, please leave your phone number. And then that way I can get back with you with that phone number. Or if you want to use your email address, and that's fine, but leave some means for me to get back in touch with you so that I can share with you this wonderful opportunity. This is a wonderful opportunity. Students have done the program successfully. Mm-hmm. I didn't make this up. The program works. We've had students who have been very, very successful with the program, and you can do it too. One young lady that did the social work program, graduated, got her job as a social worker in one of these rural health group doctor's office here locally in Halifax County. And back in June, she got a promotion, moved up to another position. So the program really works.
And I can say that I've worked with personally at least 4 one was a criminal justice guy. I know you remember him. I'm not going to say his name, but he wanted to be a U.S. Marshal.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. And
Yes.
then it was 3 young ladies. I don't know if all 3 of them finished, but I think 2 of them at
They
least.
did.
They did? Okay.
Yeah.
So 3
Mhm.
young ladies, right? No, 4. It's 4 of them. So that I just thought about. One works at DSS, and I know one works at my kid's school, actually, as
Okay.
the school social worker.
Social work. Okay.
Mhm. And so so it's most definitely real. It's
Yeah.
most definitely a big time opportunity. And that's why, when I heard about this when I got here, Dr. Stevens can tell you that as soon as I heard about it, like I contacted her and was like, okay, we need to try to see how we can work this with student support.
And I
And
do
so
thank
I
you.
appreciate you, Dr. Stevenson, so much for coming on. But before we let you go, real quick, I got one question. And I think this question is going to be more for, it may be more for us as a program than it is the individual students. And that question is, what is the most common challenge that you've seen for students entering the 2+2 program?
Oh, I think what I see is time management.
Mhm.
It's tough to do a degree program and keep it with all the other things that you have prior to enrolling in this program. And so my suggestion to students is those things that you can let go, let it go while you're doing this program.
Mhm.
And sometimes the students will say to me, but there's no one else to do XYZ. I said, yes, it is. If
Mhm.
you're not doing it, somebody else will step up and do it. I
Mhm.
said, now some things you can't do that with. We get that. I said, but things that you don't necessarily have to do, there is someone else available who can do what you're doing. Let them do that. And that way you don't have to stress yourself out, keeping up with your responsibility at home as well as keeping up with your coursework and stuff.
Mhm.
What I say to students all the time, yes, we want you to be successful. We want you to complete this degree and go on and do wonderful things with your degree.
Excuse me. Mhm.
But I also say to them, don't kill yourself trying to get this degree, because if you do, it won't do you any good.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's kind of putting it bluntly, but that's but yeah, but that time management. And what happens is, so many of the students that I've worked with and taught with, they're trying to maintain everything they're doing before they enroll in this program. They try to maintain every bit of that, and you just can't do that.
Mhm.
That 24 hours in that day becomes, very difficult to do that because you've taken on a lot of responsibility. These courses are serious. It takes time and effort for you to do your work. It's not a pie in the sky, but you can do it.
Mhm.
And of course, and these programs will stack up against anybody else. Elizabeth City is accredited, and
Yep.
not only are they accredited through SACS, but then you got your departments that have that special accreditation for that specific area.
Mhm.
Social work has an accreditation that's designed just for social work program. Education, same thing. Something that's designed just for education, that kind of thing. And so you want to be able to do that and stuff. So I would highly recommend take a good look at your schedule, a
Mhm.
good look at what you got to do, and good look at those things that you don't necessarily have to do, but you can, do without and stuff. And it also means that you got to accept the fact that you're not going to have as much free time while you're doing this program as you may be having before you enroll. But just know it's temporary. And when the degree is over, you'll have that time back where you can get back to having your social life, as you put it. But yeah, that time management is key. Most of our students manage to handle the finance part of it and stuff. I guess the $500 per semester for tuition, of course, helps with that and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, that time management piece is the biggest issue that most students have.
Okay. Well, also let your students know that, if you got someone who's outside of student support services and they need assistance with the admissions part of it or the application part of it, they can come see us. Now we're gonna try to pull them in now, but at the same time, those are services that we provide as well. So, we can only award like the waiver to students who are a part of our program, but that can be an opportunity for us as well.
Yes.
To pull a student in, and then opportunity for them not to have to pay that application fee, and make sure all the boxes are checked in terms of your transcript being sent, the waiver, the application is complete and accurate. We do all those things. So, but Dr. Stevenson, we want to thank you so much for doing this. It was very informative and to the point, and that's what we needed. And because sometimes attention spans are not as long anymore,
Right.
And so this, I think, was right on time, and we will be sending this out along with some of our other, including our time management workshop that we just had not too long ago, a few weeks back. We'll be sending these out to the students with a list of questions, for interaction, and so they can get credit. So we thank you so much. Hopefully, we will be getting some people who are interested. I know this time of the year, I kind of think about if we wanted to have it this time of the year, but I think it's a good thing because
it is.
You may have students who had other plans, but then something fell through, or you know what I mean, and then we might catch one or two.
That's right. Life happens. That's right. That's right. And the other thing I want to mention, I want to make students aware of tutorial help. If you get into a class, you find that you're having difficulty, you're just not getting it, you need some help, that kind of thing. Elizabeth City State University provides tutorial help for our students. Of course, Halifax does, they do also at Halifax and stuff. But and what Elizabeth City does, they do the tutorial help online, so you're able to do it virtually and stuff. So that and that's may not be the ideal way for some people, but it can work. When you do those things virtually, you build that relationship with your tutors and that kind of thing, and let them know where your concerns are and where you're having difficulty. It can be very beneficial to, for you to do that. And trust me, it doesn't cost you anything to do. We don't charge you an extra fee for that. When you pay your bill, you that's part of what you get is some of the services that are available to you and that kind of thing. And tutorial help is one of them. So that's important to know that and stuff. But at any rate, in any course that you're taking, I don't care if you're taking it at Halifax or you're taking it at Elizabeth City, one of the things you want to do in any class that you're taking is get to know your instructor.
Absolutely.
Get to know your instructor. If you've got some unusual situations going on in your personal life that is hindering your performance in that class and stuff, you need to let that instructor know that. They can't reach your mind, and then they'll be able to take that in advisement as they work with you through the course and that kind of thing. Most definitely. I got a class tonight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I got a group of student teachers. Okay. One of my student teachers got a meeting at her school tonight, Title I meeting stuff. She said, please advise. I said, go to your Title I meeting.
Right.
Go to your Title I meeting and have your teacher, your corporate teacher, to send me a note to verify that that's what you're doing. And that's what she's going to do. And when that meeting is over, she's going to log into our class because we're going to still going strong when she finishes with her meeting.
Right. They got something still going on. I believe
they got it. But they understand. That student has been in my class before, so she knows.
You already know. Dr. Stevenson, we just want to say thank you so much. I admire your energy after retirement. You put in your time and you still going. So, but but for a very noble cause as well. So we just want to thank you for coming on here. And like I say, once I send this out, I'm gonna send you a copy as well. Okay.
Okay. And anytime, Mr. Hardy, if you need me to do this again, just tell me when. We'll work it out and work out the time frame where we can do this and stuff. Be more than happy to do. It's a win-win situation, Absolutely. And anything I can do to help to get information out to our students and others who may be, and sometimes it's not the students, sometimes it's faculty member or staff member who know somebody who could benefit from this program. And sometimes we make a connection that way. My phone rings a lot of time with people that I know that I've worked with over the years and that kind of stuff. And they got this niece or they got this nephew that's up in New Jersey right now, and and you know, and we get students enrolled in the program as a result of that connection and stuff. So
Very good.
just tell me when.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you for the opportunity.
And you know I will. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Have a great one.
You too. Bye-bye.